Hi, this is Dave with Media Digitronics. What I'm going to do in this video is show you how to go about putting a slideshow into a page that you create with ScrapPage. You start off, of course, by opening a new project, and we'll stick with this 8x12 format. And this time I think I'm going to give it a little color. How about we, and a texture maybe. We'll go in here and select that red with this texture. And that'll bring it up and look something like this. That's a little harsh, but that's okay. You'll see what I'm going to do here in just a second. I'm going to add a color panel, and I want that panel to sit about, like this. We'll expand it out until it fits around pretty much evenly on all sides. And now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to select a different color, and I think something in this brownish hue here, but with a different texture now. And the texture I'm going to use this time is going to be this pastel ridge. It's a nice one for making a nice looking backdrop. So there. Now you can see how quickly and easily it is to make these fancy looking backgrounds using ScrapPage. So now that we've done that, what are we going to do? Well, what I'm going to do is first off, I'm going to add a text box. And I'm going to put this text box up here because I know that this is going to be a slideshow that's about this gentleman here, Wally Play. And I'm going ahead and auto size that. Now, you can see the font it defaults to Arial. There's better looking fonts. One that I like particularly is Edwardian. And I'm going to go ahead and scale that up, and I'm going to color it so that it's complementary. How about we use this dark brown here? So there, now it's in there and it's brown. Excuse me. Now I'm going to add a picture, and I want a photo of Wally, so I'm going to pick this one here. Let's put it down here, and we'll just blow it up in size a little bit so it sits here, something like this. Now that we've got his photo in, what's left? Well, what about this slideshow I was talking about? Well, the thing you do there is under Add, you go down here to Media Holders, and you select the slideshow holder. Remember, all this content that goes on in ScrapPage, it has to know where to put it. So if we want a slideshow, that's great, but you have to tell the program where you want the slideshow to wind up. So let's set it right there. So that's where the slideshow is going to be. Now, okay, we've got a slideshow, but it doesn't have any content. To add the content to it, we go back under Media Holders and say, I want to add some slideshow images. So that brings up this dialog box here, and we'll go over here and we'll open up our file folder again here. And now let's go find some photos of Wally. So you can pick you can pick a lot of them at a time. So we'll just go through here and pick a few of these. How about we get those? That's going to be representative of what we're trying to do here. Now, the green box here shows you the format of the slideshow holder as I set it. Now, you can see that this picture here does not fill that green box. So there's going to be some clipping on the edges of the box. This one's very close. It's a little bit missing on top and bottom. Same way with this one, top and bottom. And this one here. And on down the line. Now, there's a couple of things you can do. First off, you can just leave it, and ScrapPage will be happy with a picture that doesn't quite fill the frame, and it can over here. It can either fill it with several different colors or no fill at all. No fill's kind of good because you don't see any letterboxing of any sort. But one thing you also can do is you can say, hey, I want to crop these things so that they fit. Now I can auto crop this picture here and it will fit. Now it's going to exactly fit that the ratio that we set for the slideshow holder when we put it in. These others may not. For instance, that one will not and that one will not. So we can if you wanted to auto crop this one, now it will fit exactly. Okay, so those are the games you can play with making them fit or not. And again, if you choose to have your background color fill be no fill, it doesn't make any difference, and you'll see in a minute why that is the case. All right, now what kind of slideshow are we going to have? Well, let's do a carousel slide. That means it's going to slide from the right to the left. And let's make it manual. And I want to control it with a tap. And that means if you tap anywhere on the slideshow, it's going to advance to the next picture. And I want it to be continuous loop. I want it to be visible when we start, but I don't want to add a closing X because I want this slideshow to show all of the time. All right, so now we've done that. All we have to do now is to go up here and build an action page. And I'll build it for local viewing. Now I always keep around this little file here. I call it test. That's just when I'm building a page and I'm not quite sure that I'm done with it, and I'm doing it to a local build. That way I can just overwrite this test and say, yeah, okay, let's overwrite this guy. And when we do, the file build is complete. We can take a look. Now here's our page that we just built. So as you remember, I made this up a tap. So if I tap anywhere on here, it'll advance in a carousel fashion to the next picture and on down the line. There's one of the ones that we zoomed out or expanded in order to do a full fill of the scrap. But this one has a little bit of leftover on the side, but you can't see it because I set for the background to be no fill. And there you can see that one has got the top and bottom clip, but you still aren't aware of it being there. So you can just sit here and cycle through these things forever. Now, you can also make a slideshow that is automatic. And to do that, let's just pop this down and we'll close this off. And we'll go back to our workspace here. And now I'm going to go in and under the slideshow images, I'm going to go in and tell it, hey, I don't want it to be manual, so I'm not going to worry about whether or not it's being tapped, but I'll still keep it as carousel. And right now you can see I've got the slide duration set at 2.5 and the fade time, or the slideshow transition time, as being 3/4 of a second. So when I go ahead now and build this, you're going to see when we go in and make our action page again, we'll go for local viewing one more time and just overwrite the test file again. It's preparing the files. Okay, it's done. Now, this time when it comes up, you're going to see it just saying, I'm not doing anything. It's running automatic all by itself now. So every 2.5 seconds, a new slide shows up with a time of 3/4 of a second to transition to the next one. And it'll just keep doing this forever because I got it set on continuous. So that's a quick overview of how you do slideshows in ScrapPage. They're very simple to do. And as you can see, you can load a lot of content on a page with these things. You can have as many, I believe, as about 50. I set the limit somewhere. I'd have to check that to be sure off the cuff. I don't know, but I think you can have as many as 50 slides in a slideshow if you wanted to put that many in. But as you can see, a lot of content on a single page can be achieved with slideshows. Okay, so I hope this little overview helped you understand how to put slideshows into your projects, and I'll be making more of these videos on other subjects in ScrapPage as time goes by.